Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. So the news today is pretty interesting. It is the announcement of a crypto dynasty for Ethereum. So there's a bit of history to this. So the game was originally known as EOS Dynasty, running on the EOS blockchain, and now it's coming to Ethereum. It's not clear if it's going to be a cross-platform game that kind of gamers on EOS and Ethereum are going to kind of be connected in some way. It looks like it might be, hard to tell. But I guess just the big news is EOS Dynasty is coming to Ethereum. We've seen that with other games actually. So we had EOS Knights, which at one point was the biggest EOS game, which is now pretty much declined to nothing. That relaunched as Knight's Story, first on Ethereum, then on Tron, and also coming to EOS. So we are seeing this kind of a kind of cross-chain kind of trend again. We have seen it about kind of couple of years ago. It became very popular. Then it became clear that actually it was very hard very hard technically to run a game across multiple blockchains, because obviously it slows down your development as changes happening to the blockchains all the time. And also it transpired that the audiences are quite different and kind of want different things. So that's one of the interesting things we'll get to see with Crypto Dynasty. As EOS Dynasty, for the last really kind of 6 months, it's been the most popular EOS game, and more recently the most popular blockchain game. So it's up to about 4,000, 5,000 daily active unique wallets at the moment on EOS. But the EOS kind of gaming market is sort of different to Ethereum. Ethereum is very driven by NFTs, owning in-game items, leveling them up, selling them in marketplaces. NFTs are on EOS, but it's much less developed than Ethereum, and so it's tended on EOS games tend to be much more focused on tokens, which Ethereum games tend not to be so focused on. Now we can actually see this here. So this is the Crypto Dynasty website. As far as I can see, the game's not live at the moment. It's doing various pre-sales. But if we go to token, you can see here, this is their TKT token. So it says 1 billion issued across multiple chains. I mean, again, that's interesting to do if you're issuing them across chains. Obviously, people are doing making sure you can kind of not double spend across chains. They're doing that with Wrap Bitcoin now, but it's not the simplest thing to do. Let's put it that way. And obviously, the value of a token is the fact that it can be bought and sold. There's liquidity, and the price doesn't change too much. I mean, again, you get interesting arbitrage scenarios when there's an EOS version and an Ethereum version, and obviously the price of EOS might be going up or down relative to the price of Ethereum, vice versa. Anyway, a big thing about this token is obviously trading and purchasing, but there's also, you have dividends as well, which kind of comes out of kind of the gambling DApp ecosystem, where you would potentially hold or lock in a lot of tokens and then earn like a passive income, a dividend sort of token, dividend sort of payment for locking those tokens in. So quite a lot going in there in terms of how the game mechanics on the economy is going to work. We wait and see. And as I say, Ethereum users have traditionally not been so focused on this. They've been more focused on, let's buy some items. So one way that the developer is trying to connect these things, you can see this is the pre-sale. So this is going to last for another 15 days. This is actually, so this is the first round by the looks of things. So quite a good kind of range of pricing, 0.03 ETH, so it's about $6 at the moment, a bit more than $6, up to 15 ETH, which is I think $3,000. Is that right? Something like that. And what you're getting some heroes, some runes. Don't know what runes do. You're getting some tokens. So here, you can kind of see what's going on here. They're trying to sell kind of discounted boxes which have these kind of NFTs in, and also these tokens. So trying to combine the two economies. It's also interesting that where do we have it? They're trying to use the fact they're on multiple chains. So we have the EOS. There's 4 camps. There's the the EOS camp, the Ethereum camp, and then these other two. Whether are these going to be different blockchains? Kind of looks like it. They all represent different blockchains, so you'd kind of think, well, hard to know what other it would be. Kind of Tron, I guess, would be an obvious one, but there's lots of other blockchains coming along. Obviously, that's something for the future. And then in terms of what the game's actually doing, again, it's kind of interesting. Lots of different things going on here. So there's obviously crafting, so collecting materials and making equipment. Mounts, obviously a big thing in MMOs. So that's kind of more, I guess, an NFT thing. Also, you can, looks like the mounts can explore and gain rewards. Raid bosses, PvP, fighting other players, mining. So this is, obviously something that's very native to cryptocurrencies. But different mining generates different, plenty of these tokens, which can be staked for VIP military rank or ETH dividend rewards. So I should point out the developer is Chinese. So it's been interesting actually that EOS Dynasty has been very well supported by the Chinese community, and pretty much, I would imagine, I'm not seeing any numbers, but I would imagine pretty much the large majority of people playing the game at the moment on EOS Dynasty are Chinese, and they just have a very different way of playing games, certainly blockchain games, or even the Chinese have quite a different way of playing normal games than people in the West, just different kind of tastes. And also play to earn, so that's a phrase we're hearing a lot in the blockchain game space at the moment. Just basically means you can play the game and collect various things that can then potentially be sold. This is one of the problems I have with this phrase is, anyone can create NFTs or collect a lot of tokens, but and put them on a marketplace and set the price. But unless someone buys them, if there's thousands of people collecting all these things and one person buying them, then the price is not going to sustain in a way that the sellers want. So we'll wait and see. Lots of unanswered questions as ever. But I guess what's interesting is with this game, it has already shown it can sustain what for blockchain games is a reasonably large audience and actually grow it. So we will kind of wait and see how this progresses. I mean, just a few other things we will look through here. So there is a token. So if you log in, you can basically an affiliate link. So if you kind of invite your friends to participate in the pre-sale, you get 3% back on what they purchase. And login is just a standard. You can log in with a standard MetaMask. But the game is not live. What will be interesting, I guess, the most interesting thing for me that's unanswered at the moment is the EOS Dynasty was effectively a mobile game. So as Chinese companies kind of tend to do, they were a little bit naughty that it was available for iOS devices, but using test flight, which is really is strictly only designed for testing. You can, I think, there's a certain amount of kind of build downloads you can run through a test flight account. I think something like 5,000, I think, but that's not really designed for going properly live because it doesn't go through the same certification process. There was also you could go through Google Play, and there was also an APK download, which again is more common in Asia, where you just download a Android file and then kind of sideload it onto your phone. Rather than going through the Google Play App Store. The big problem I had with the EOS Dynasty was just EOS, the blockchain at the moment is a bit of a mess, and the wallets aren't as robust really. So I've got several EOS wallets and can never quite get it all to match up. So I didn't actually play the EOS Dynasty game, although I kind of looked into it quite a bit. So I'm kind of looking forward to a Ethereum version, which I imagine will probably also be browser based. I mean, one of the problems with EOS is it tends to actually have quite a lot of good mobile wallets, and doesn't really have a equivalent of MetaMask. So there's Scatter, which is now pretty much discontinued. Scatter was the best EOS wallet, but that was more a desktop wallet rather than a browser wallet, although you could use it as a browser wallet. Anyhow, we will see. Certainly interesting that the games are looking to go cross-chain again. We've not seen too much success of that in the past. I guess the biggest game to date that's done that successfully is Blockchain Cuties, which now runs across Ethereum, Tron, EOS and Neo. But of those 4 chains it runs across, only Ethereum and Tron have significant volumes of players. So it is a problem to try and keep a game in step and fulfill the desires of what can be very different audiences on these different blockchains. So anyway, good luck to Crypto Dynasty. Thanks for watching the video. Blockchain Gaming World, all about the world of blockchain gaming, which is constantly changing, constantly throwing up surprises. And so if you're interested in that, please do subscribe to the channel. We are very active playing these games and delving into the news and that sort of thing. So I hope you find that interesting. But thanks for watching the video, and hope to see you again soon.